The Riderflex Guide Inspiring and Hiring by Steve Urban. Contributing authors: Scott Kagereis, Kim Urban, Sabrina Walker, Felicia Fan, Sue Publicover, Brianna Derrera. Dedication: to my beautiful and wonderful wife, Kim Urban. Thank you for supporting me through building a startup and for putting up with my crazy adventures and ideas. Most of my success in life is due to your love, support, and patience. The man I am today is because of you. Why do you need this book? We're living in a culture of daily changes, juggling life, work, and everything in between. Finding the right people for your team doesn't follow the same process it did 10 years ago. Managing and leading a new generation of workers who bring along their own set of rules is tough. As an executive recruiter, I deal with these issues every single day. I see mistakes that make me shudder, laugh, and question the basic tenets of logic. I've been hosting the daily Riderflex podcast for a few years, and I'm never at a loss for topics. In this book, I'm giving you highlights of the insight I've gained, shared, and applied to my life. Maybe you're trying to navigate the recruitment process as an employer, manage a remote workforce, or fix a few dented employees. I hope the Riderflex Guide, Inspiring and Hiring, gives you the help you need. You'll even find some tips that could be useful for both a hiring manager and a candidate, because at some point, we're all on the other side of the interview. Section 1, Leadership. 7 tips for new CEOs. Bad habits don't change overnight. Fire those bad clients. 1. Do the right thing when nobody's watching. 2. Donuts versus cash flow. 3. Tips to manage through a crisis and turnaround. 4. Do employee reviews matter? 5. Should companies have a cause? 6. Leadership value comes with the backside of your career. Business isn't about wearing suits or pleasing stockholders. It's about being true to yourself, your ideas, and focusing on the essentials. Richard Branson, CEO, Virgin Group. 1. 7 tips for new CEOs. You've worked hard to get the job. Now you're there, in the CEO's chair. Whether this is a new role for you, a new company, or both, you probably have more to learn than you realize. I've run a couple of $40 million companies as CEO, COO, and president. Each time I discovered new lessons. Here are 7 tips for new CEOs, which apply to any leadership role. 1. Build a strong team. You've inherited an existing team that might have all-stars and also some underperformers. You must surround yourself with the best people. Their mediocre results will reflect on you. Evaluate your team carefully and make changes as needed. Build or rebuild the leadership group first. 2. Listen. To reach CEO level, you did a lot of talking, presenting ideas, spearheading projects, getting noticed. Now that you're at the top, talk less and listen more. Encourage your team to share ideas and insights. Check how often you're speaking versus listening. You may find that sharper listening helps you reach your goals and empower your team. 3. Seek a mentor. Even if you're at the top, you're not above mentoring. In fact, it's more important now than ever. When you need help, you can't tell your direct reports everything, and your family may not understand your challenges. Find a mentor, a trusted CEO, or an experienced executive who can share valuable insight. 4. Be in the moment. Yes, plan for contingencies, but don't get so lost in what if that you miss the reality in front of you. Notice what's going on now, especially in the presence of your team. 5. Take time off. Working 80 hours a week for months won't make you a better CEO. It will make you exhausted. Overwork doesn't impress your team, and it can create distrust or resentment. When you're rested, you make better decisions. 6. Actively manage stress. Stress is inevitable. It can easily lead to unhealthy coping behaviors if left unchecked. Stay vigilant about how you manage stress so it doesn't lead to destructive choices. 7. Enjoy the ride. The average CEO tenure is around 3.5 years. It may be a short gig for various reasons, so savor every moment. There will come a time when those days are behind you. Being a CEO is a challenge. Make the most of it and keep learning. 2. Do the right thing when nobody's watching. Leadership is revealed by what you do, not by what you say. Be a role model of integrity, doing what's right when nobody's watching. In the 90s, I was a manager in training for a retail store. We were remodeling at night to avoid interrupting shoppers. One evening, about 30 or 40 people were working, including the store manager and district manager. I prided myself on working harder than anyone, so I was hustling more than the rest. I noticed a guy standing around doing nothing. I politely bossed him around, telling him what to do so he'd be productive. This happened multiple times. Then the district manager came out and said, "Steve, have you met Vern, the VP?" I felt about an inch tall. I had no idea the company vice president would be on site, and I'd been ordering him around. Vern never once acted like he was too good to help. He followed my direction without complaint and never tried to flex his title. He was doing the right thing by pitching in, not flaunting his rank. We were both doing the right thing, even though we had no idea we were watching each other. You never know who might be paying attention. Hustle, do your best, and great things will happen. 3. Bad habits don't change overnight. I was in a restaurant and overheard a guy complaining about his boss who missed calls without notice and didn't care about inconveniencing the team. Then the same guy bragged about slacking off because no one was tracking him closely. As he left, he dropped his napkin on the floor, ignored the server, and brushed past an elderly couple at the door without even a greeting. This showed me a person who clearly lacks accountability. Some people, especially younger professionals, claim they'll take a job seriously later when it's a real job. But your habits define you, no matter the job. If you have a lazy attitude, it won't suddenly vanish when your title changes. Behaviors form through repetition. Before you hire or fire someone, keep in mind that bad habits don't change overnight. It takes genuine effort to build better patterns. 4. Fire those bad clients. Some relationships just aren't worth it, including client relationships. If a client is toxic, demanding, disrespectful, or regularly late paying invoices, you're better off letting them go. Even if you're just starting out, hanging on to lousy clients for the sake of revenue is a mistake. Such clients drain your energy and time, which could be spent finding better ones. I recently let go of a recruiting client who was extremely rude and never paid on time. The stress wasn't worth it. 3 days later, I signed a new, better client. Letting go of bad clients frees you to serve and seek clients who pay you, respect you, and value the relationship. 5. Donuts versus cash flow. Do you shower your employees with perks, free donuts, stocked fridges, game areas? Perks can be nice, but they aren't free. Whenever you spend on them, you should know the return you're getting. Some offices feel they must provide a fully stocked break room for staff to be happy. But if money gets tight and you have to dial back on those freebies, pay attention to who complains. The workers you want to keep long-term are those who value the job more than the perks. Don't let comforts and extras distract you from your mission. Consistently delivering a product or service, generating revenue, and keeping everyone employed. Paying for perks is great if you have the cash, but don't let the cost of pampering overshadow the real objective. 6. Tips to manage through a crisis and turnaround. When a company is in crisis, maybe from a recession, a drop in sales, or a sudden blow, you need quick action. From my own experience, here are essential tips. Manage the cash flow. Develop a 6 to 8 week forecast, subtract around 10% from projected revenue, then adjust your expenses to align with that reduced figure. Examine expenses line by line. Have department heads present every expense. Small cuts add up. If you can incentivize them to save, do it. Layoffs with the future in mind. If you have to lay people off, keep those with the most potential, not necessarily the most experience. Potential outperforms experience in the long run. Remove founders or family if they block decisions. Founders can be too emotionally invested in the past. Politely ask them to step aside until you steady the ship. Avoid distractions. In crisis mode, anything that doesn't help you solve the immediate problems is not important. Focus on these steps to guide your company through the turbulence and steer toward a turnaround. 7. Do employee reviews matter? Websites like Glassdoor let current and former employees rate their employers. Some leaders ignore these platforms, but what your workforce says online impacts your reputation and your ability to hire top talent. When your employees write negative reviews, it's tempting to dismiss them as bitter or untruthful, but you should still investigate any recurring issues. Candidates look at your rating. If it's low, it can cost you valuable applicants before they even bother applying. A poor Glassdoor score indicates deeper problems. Whether the reviews are true or partially skewed, you'll want to know what's driving employees to comment negatively and fix it. 8. Should companies have a cause? Millennials in particular want the companies they patronize or work for to have a cause. Whether it's environmental responsibility, charitable giving, or social activism, many younger workers want to see real-world impact. While it's admirable to bring your passions to business, remember that your main purpose is to deliver your product or service and keep people employed. Getting tangled in political or social stances can alienate potential customers or staff. Be selective and genuine if you back a cause. Every business should examine its priorities and core mission. If you sincerely support a cause, do so authentically. Otherwise, focus on the crucial job of keeping your doors open and your people working. 9. Leadership value comes with the backside of your career. Experience has real value. Older workers often feel less valued as younger ones come in with new ideas and energy. But if you're an older professional, consider this. The wisdom you've accumulated is priceless. You can mentor others, contribute to brainstorming sessions, and lend valuable insights to solve problems. The latter stage of your career can be a rich time to pass along knowledge. Take pride in it. Stay humble and never stop learning. The younger folks need your experience. Let them benefit from it. Section 2. Professional development. Improve on doing what you said you would do. 10. Discover what's outside your comfort zone. 11. Do you talk about yourself too much? 12. Don't dwell on your past. 13. Be a giver, not a taker. 14. Don't toss away relationships. 15. You're always in the job market. Improve on doing what you said you would do. Even well-intentioned people sometimes fail to follow through. Maybe you genuinely forgot or dismissed the task as unimportant. But if you build a reputation for not following through, it's damaging. To fix this, track your promises. Use your phone to record voice memos or set reminders. Then, each morning, build a to-do list from those notes. Ensure you hit your deadlines or beat them. Following through is not only polite, it's essential for building trust. 10. Discover what's outside your comfort zone. Feeling awkward can be a sign you're experiencing growth. Whether it's traveling alone, meeting strangers, or trying a new activity, stepping beyond your safe space can open doors. For instance, I once went camping in the Colorado mountains to find solitude. A group of rowdy guys showed up at the same spot, and I begrudgingly let them share my campsite. It ended up being a blast. One turned out to be a plumber who later helped me out, and we even did some business deals through his contacts. Embrace the occasional discomfort. You might find unexpected benefits. 11. Do you talk about yourself too much? A conversation is supposed to be a two-way street, yet many people treat it like a stage for monologues. If you catch yourself hogging the conversation, step back and show real curiosity about the other person. Networking and relationships thrive on balanced dialogue. If you walk away knowing everything about them, but they know little about you, or vice versa, you missed a chance to connect. 12. Don't dwell on your past. Harping on old successes or failures makes you stale. You can't change the past. Even if you were a superstar athlete years ago, that doesn't matter unless you're applying those traits to your current life. Similarly, if you made mistakes, learn from them and move on. People who linger in the past often do so out of insecurity or regret. Focus on who you are and who you're becoming right now. 13. Be a giver, not a taker. Are you someone who frequently helps others or mostly asks for favors? Givers create a positive ripple that comes back around in the form of goodwill and opportunities. Takers drain the people around them and end up lonely or mistrusted. Look for ways to help at work or in your community without expecting anything in return. That willingness to give makes you more desirable to colleagues, clients, and friends. 14. Don't toss away relationships. Many younger professionals think if someone annoys them, they can just drop that relationship. But that can backfire later. People are imperfect. Learn to manage those imperfections rather than sever ties too quickly. You never know who could introduce you to a valuable opportunity or speak on your behalf. Keep relationships intact and genuine. One day, the person you almost dismissed might be a powerful ally. 15. You're always in the job market. No matter how comfortable you feel in your current role, never stop being prepared. Keep your LinkedIn updated, maintain your network, and know which recruiters to call. Job security can vanish overnight. If you're invisible, it takes longer to bounce back. Stay visible and connected so you're ready for anything. Section 3, Communication. 16. 12 communication tips for supervisors. 17. Put down your phone when I'm talking. 18. Raise your hand and speak up to get promoted. 19. He stunk. A true story about perception. 20. Travel is not an excuse for missing meetings. 21. Don't be a no-call, no-show. 22. Where are all the quality salespeople? 23. 5 reasons to just make the phone call. 24. Tips on managing voicemail. 25. Texting grammar is not okay. 26. Do you have rude phone and Zoom behavior? 16. 12 communication tips for supervisors. Over decades of managing people, I've compiled these essentials. 1. Repeat instructions. The more you repeat an important point, the more likely people are to remember and act on it. 2. Don't assume they know. Clarify and confirm. 3. Communicate ideas in multiple ways. Mention it in meetings, emails, and one-on-one sessions. 4. Check for understanding. Ask them to restate what they heard. 5. Avoid emailing a new idea first. Present it verbally before formalizing in writing. 6. Communicate from the bottom up. Target the people most likely to need repetition. 7. Involve your team early when making changes. Gaining their buy-in saves headaches later. 8. Meet with your team individually and collectively. A weekly group meeting and personal check-ins maintain consistent communication. 9. Don't complain down. Be a positive presence. 10. Reprimand privately, praise publicly. 11. Notice and celebrate the positives. 12. Check your attitude before you walk in. Your team follows your energy. 17. Put down your phone when I'm talking. Nothing is more distracting or disrespectful than trying to talk with someone who is glued to their phone. If you're out to dinner or in a meeting and you can't resist checking texts or social media, you're not truly present. Practice putting your phone completely away. You might be amazed at how much deeper and more enjoyable conversations become. 18. Raise your hand and speak up to get promoted. Bosses and executives can't read your mind. If you want more responsibility or a higher level opportunity, say so. I once boldly offered to handle a major problem the company faced, and it launched me from director to COO. Confidence counts. If you wait for someone to notice you, you might wait forever. Throw your hat in the ring. 19. He stunk. A true story about perception. In the early 90s, I managed a music store and was training a new assistant manager, Mike, who smelled terrible. Employees hated working with him. I finally mustered the courage to address his odor. He explained he'd been homeless, washing up just once a week. He was mortified but appreciative that I asked. I helped him do laundry and put him up in a hotel. Mike turned out to be a dedicated worker once his crisis was resolved. Don't jump to conclusions about people. Ask questions, learn what's behind the issue, and sometimes you'll find a way to help. 20. Travel is not an excuse for missing meetings. Short of an emergency, there's no valid reason for a no-show when traveling. It's common courtesy to give notice. People who claim I'm traveling but fail to alert you until the last minute are simply showing disrespect. If you know you'll have a sudden change of plans, send a message immediately. Don't wait until the meeting is supposed to begin. 21. Don't be a no-call, no-show. Some workers treat low-wage or temporary jobs as if they're allowed to vanish without explanation. This bad habit follows them and tarnishes their future prospects. Once you decide not to show up, at least call to inform your boss. Show some respect for other people's schedules. If you don't, you're also training yourself in irresponsibility. 22. Where are all the quality salespeople? So many sales emails and messages are generic blasts. Real sales success comes from personalized, genuine outreach that shows you did your research. I recently received an authentic, thoughtful email from a salesperson. No template, references to my work, a short voicemail follow-up. That stood out. If you're in sales, pick up the phone, learn about your prospect, and make a real connection. 23. 5 reasons to just make the phone call. We tend to avoid phone calls relying on texts or emails, but a quick conversation can save time and strengthen relationships. Here's when to ditch messages and dial. 1. You need to explain something complex. 2. You expect back and forth for clarification. 3. You have bad news. Deliver it personally. 4. You want to apologize. A voice call feels more sincere. 5. You anticipate disagreements. A conversation is more efficient for resolving conflicts. 24. Tips on managing voicemail. Check your voicemail greeting. Is it professional and up to date? Also, be sure your voicemail isn't full. When leaving a message, press the pound or hash sign before hanging up. Many systems allow you to re-record if you want to improve your message. Every communication you make is a reflection on you. 25. Texting. Grammar is not okay. In business communications, don't let sloppy texting habits bleed into emails or documents. Even on LinkedIn, improper grammar and shorthand can undermine your professionalism. Review your messages before sending. If you're not confident in your writing skills, ask a colleague or friend for help. Text talk belongs with friends, not colleagues or clients. 26. Do you have rude phone and Zoom behavior? Video calls are now standard. Don't minimize the screen to multitask. When you shift your eyes away repeatedly, it's obvious. Treat a Zoom meeting like an in-person one. You wouldn't text and check emails in front of someone who's talking to you. Give your full attention. Otherwise, you damage your credibility and appear disrespectful. Section 4. Know the talent pool. 27. Know the value of older workers. 28. 13 reasons to hire remote candidates. 29. People skills are more critical than ever. 30. Utilize the skills of the former entrepreneur. 31. Hire people who are smarter than you. 27. Know the value of older workers. Too often, older applicants get overlooked. But age brings advantages. They know what they want, making them more stable. They tend to be loyal. Turnover is expensive, so loyalty matters. Their work ethic is usually strong and consistent. They've built a network of professional contacts. Their communication and people skills are honed. Leadership ability improves with experience. They can help the younger crew handle life's ups and downs. Older workers can bring reliability, wisdom, and a broader perspective. 28. 13 reasons to hire remote candidates. The pandemic prompted a massive shift toward working from home. If you don't offer remote options, you're missing out on talent. Reasons to hire remotely include: 1. You save on office costs. 2. Employees save on commute costs. 3. Access to a broader talent pool. 4. Improved morale. 5. Reduced turnover. 6. Healthier lifestyle and lowered stress. 7. Less commuting equals fewer cars on the road. 8. You can cover multiple time zones. 9. Self-starters thrive remotely. 10. Greater diversity in hiring. 11. Higher productivity with fewer office interruptions. 12. Pet-friendly arrangement at home can reduce stress. 13. Going remote helps reduce environmental impact. 29. People skills are more critical than ever. Technology is leveling the field. Nearly everyone can access the same online resources. The differentiator is emotional intelligence, soft skills like communication, empathy, adaptability. For example, a handyman might not be the world's best carpenter, but if he's personable, reliable, and solves problems effectively, he'll be in high demand. Build your people skills to truly stand out. 30. Utilize the skills of the former entrepreneur. Some see ex-entrepreneurs as a hiring risk, fearing they might leave to start another venture. But they bring invaluable experience, resourcefulness, decisiveness, financial awareness, courage to tackle unknowns. They've often had their own money on the line, so they know urgency. If you worry about them leaving, have a candid discussion. If they're ready to settle into a stable role, they can be a tremendous asset. 31. Hire people who are smarter than you. Insecure leaders might avoid hiring top talent who could overshadow them. That is a mistake. Strong hires. Fill your knowledge gaps. Let you learn from them. Make your job easier by handling tasks you're weaker at. Help the company thrive. Confidence means welcoming intelligent people who push you and the business forward. Section 5, expanding your team. 32, going to the prom alone cost you $10,000. 33, crazy reasons companies put off hiring. 34, racing resumes equals bad hires. 35, how job candidates get rejected immediately. 36, is EQ more important than IQ? 32, going to the prom alone cost you $10,000. Hiring managers often hesitate after finding a near-perfect candidate, thinking someone better might come along. Meanwhile, that candidate gets another offer and you end up empty-handed. You can spend thousands of dollars in a lengthy search only to lose a great prospect because of delays. If you find someone who's an 80 to 90% match, act quickly. Don't let FOMO make you miss out. 33, crazy reasons companies put off hiring. We're too busy to hire, some managers say, which is ironic. They're overwhelmed specifically because they're short-handed. This is like having a broken pipe flooding your basement, but insisting you can't fix it because you're busy mopping water. Hiring should be a priority when you're slammed. Even a short delay can waste time and money in the long run. 34, racing resumes equals bad hires. Sometimes companies in a panic push recruiters to present candidates instantly. This leads to resume racing, where half-vetted people get sent in a hurry. That rarely ends well. A reputable recruiting partner needs time to thoroughly screen, interview, and check references. Rushing leads to repeated turnover and more expense. Make talent acquisition a priority before it's an emergency. 35. How job candidates get rejected immediately. It's not always about qualifications. People can get dismissed for lateness to the interview, tech issues they can't figure out, negative or arrogant attitude, poor communication or slow response time, dishonesty or inconsistencies. Watch for these red flags. They often reveal deeper problems with work ethic and culture fit. 36. Is EQ more important than IQ? Emotional intelligence, EQ, measures empathy, self-awareness, and interpersonal skills, while IQ is your intellectual capacity. In leadership, EQ often trumps IQ. People will follow someone who can connect and communicate effectively more than they'll follow someone who's simply smart. Your EQ can be improved, starting with self-awareness. Recognize where you need growth, especially in handling others' emotions and your own. Section 6. The interview process. 37. 3 mistakes employers make with their interview questions. 38. Did they pass these correspondence tests? 39. These 15 things add up to the perfect job interview. 40. 11 tips for video interviews. 41. What is their why? 42. Candidates and employers are lying during the interview. 43. Do peer interviews matter? 44. Be mindful of the job candidate's interview experience. 37. 3 mistakes employers make with their interview questions. 38. Failing to learn who the candidate is. Tell me about yourself opens the door to personal and professional details. Find out what drives them, hobbies, interests, ambitions. 39. Not asking how. If someone says they boosted revenue by $15 million, ask for specifics. How did they do it? 40. Getting tricky. Some managers love gotcha questions. They rarely provide useful insight. Keep it real. Focus on assessing cultural fit and abilities, not on scaring the applicant. 38. Did they pass these correspondence tests? Observe how quickly and professionally candidates reply to you. Do they respond promptly to emails, calls, or texts? Is their tone courteous and professional? Do they follow instructions? If they fail these small but telling tests, that behavior likely continues on the job. 39. These 15 things add up to the perfect job interview. When a candidate, 1. Tests their tech beforehand, 2. Arrives 5 minutes early, 3. Brings positive energy, 4. Makes friendly small talk, 5. Answers, tell me about yourself concisely, 6. Researches the company in advance, 7. Answers questions without rambling, 8. Proactively addresses gaps in their background, 9. Recaps how their skills match the role, and 10. Asks thoughtful questions at the end, 11. Shows interest in you and your company's culture. 12. Expresses gratitude for your time. 13. Follows up quickly after the interview. 14. Sends a thank you note with details. 15. Continues responding promptly. These details create a winning impression. 40. 11 tips for video interviews. 41. Prepare your lighting, microphone, and camera. 42. Check your internet connection. 43. Download the right software in advance. 44. Test your setup by recording yourself. 45. Position the camera at eye level. 46. Make sure your background is neat. 47. Mute notifications on your computer. 48. Dress the part. 49. Conduct video interviews indoors to avoid distractions. 50. Be yourself. Don't try to change your accent or grammar style. 51. Stay confident and authentic. 41. What is their why? You need to know a candidate's motivation for applying. Are they relocating for family? Leaving an awful commute? Pursuing a passion for your product or industry? Hiring managers should dig for the root reason. If their motives align with your company's realities, you likely have a good match. 42. Candidates and employers are lying during the interview. Yes, it happens on both sides. A candidate might hide the real reason they left a job. An employer might gloss over financial struggles. Focus on identifying serious discrepancies. Don't get bogged down by tiny white lies. If the personality fits and the big things check out, that may be enough. 43. Do peer interviews matter? Letting an applicant meet the team can be helpful for cultural fit, but peers might feel threatened or project personal biases. Scheduling too many interviews can turn off a great candidate. A negative current employee can tank the interview. Use peer interviews carefully. Sometimes a straightforward manager interview, plus one or two others, is enough. 44. Be mindful of the job candidate's interview experience. Regardless of whether you hire them, they form an opinion of your company. Positive or negative, they'll share that opinion with their network or online reviews. A smooth and respectful process can yield valuable referrals, strengthen your brand, and leave doors open for future opportunities. Section 7. Decisions. 45. 9 mistakes companies make during the hiring process. 46. Some people do it for you, some don't. 47. Stop searching for the purple squirrel. 48. Are you selecting job candidates like a dating app? 49. Break bread with someone before you decide. 50. Get over your FOMO. 51. The worst interviews could lead to the best employees. 45. 9 mistakes companies make during the hiring process. 46. Not confirming the job description internally. 47. Making snap decisions based on a resume alone. 48. Requiring industry or product experience for every role. 49. Sticking to mandatory requirements too rigidly. 50. Continuing to look after you've found the one. 51. Poor communication that scares off candidates. 52. Offering a salary below the candidate's range. 53. Moving too slowly. 54. Holding out for the mythical purple squirrel. 46. Some people do it for you, some don't. We're human. Chemistry matters. You can't always explain it, but you know it when you feel it. Don't rely solely on resumes and checklists. If the chemistry is strong, that may outweigh minor skill gaps. If the chemistry is off, you probably shouldn't force it. 47. Stop searching for the purple squirrel. No candidate perfectly matches 100% of your requirements. Reflect on your own career. Chances are you weren't perfectly qualified for some roles you held. Someone gave you a shot anyway. Looking for that non-existent perfect candidate wastes time and great opportunities. If a candidate has the essential skills, the right attitude, and strong references, consider them seriously. 48. Are you selecting job candidates like a dating app? A perfect paper match doesn't guarantee success in person. Sometimes you meet someone who looks amazing on paper, but there's zero spark when you talk. Don't let algorithms or superficial data mislead you. You need to actually talk and gauge personality. 49. Break bread with someone before you decide. If you're about to hire a key person, share a meal or coffee with them. Outside the office, people relax and you'll see more of who they really are. This might confirm your good impression, or reveal deal-breaking red flags. 50. Get over your FOMO. Fear of missing out drives many hiring managers to keep looking after they've met an excellent candidate. Meanwhile, that person may get scooped up by someone faster. If they feel right, pull the trigger. 51. The worst interviews could lead to the best employees. Some great candidates simply don't interview well. If you sense potential despite a lackluster interview, give them a second chance. They could become a stellar performer if given an opportunity. Section 8. Working with a recruiter. 52. The number one reason to outsource recruiting. 53. Small recruiting firm or big company. 54. 6 tips for working with recruiters. 55. Follow the 3 Ps for hiring a recruiter. 56. 8 things recruiters need from employers. 57. Should AI be used in recruiting? 52. The number one reason to outsource recruiting. Hiring is complex and time-consuming. The main reason to outsource is to remove that responsibility from your plate so you can focus on what you do best. Professional recruiters constantly scan the job market, screen applicants, and know how to spot good fits more efficiently than you might in-house. 53. Small recruiting firm or big company? A big-name firm might feel safer, but a smaller boutique recruiter can offer personal service and a more vested interest in your long-term satisfaction. They're often owned by people who care deeply about quality and client relationships, not just about volume. Don't assume bigger is better. 54. 6 tips for working with recruiters. 55. Align your internal team before beginning the search. 56. Trust the recruiter's process. 57. Interview the candidates they recommend. 58. Give timely feedback so they can adjust. 59. Be transparent about hidden goals or preferences. 60. Move quickly. Great candidates won't wait forever. 55. Follow the 3 Ps for hiring a recruiter. Price. Ask for a clear fee structure. Process. Understand if they rush resumes or use thorough vetting. Proof. Check references and reviews. Recent endorsements from other clients matter more than their years in business or claimed specialties. 56. 8 things recruiters need from employers. 57. Get internal agreement beforehand. 58. Identify the non-negotiables. 59. Keep the interviewing process short and focused. 60. Allow direct access to the hiring manager. 61. Clarify who the final decision maker is. 62. Don't reject candidates solely on paper if the recruiter has vetted them. 63. Don't lowball offers after setting a salary range. 64. Communicate any changes or delays promptly. 57. Should AI be used in recruiting? Automated screening tools can scan resumes for keywords, but they can't measure soft skills or the cultural fit you sense in conversation. Good recruiters rely on human interaction. Technology can help, but it shouldn't replace the human element in deciding who to hire. Section 9. Managing your team. 58. All jobs should have a remote option. 59. Tips for working and managing productively from home. 60. Take aim before you fire an employee. 61. Supervisors should do unannounced visits. 62. Give the screw-up a break. 63. Everyone is battling something. 64. Why and how to quickly get rid of the toxic employee. 65. Don't measure performance around contests. 66. Ask employees for your payroll dollars back. 67. Handling employees who don't follow directions. 58. All jobs should have a remote option. Many employees grew accustomed to working from home. If your office job only needs a phone and laptop, why demand everyone come in? By offering remote or hybrid options, you expand your talent pool, reduce overhead, and often increase productivity. 59. Tips for working and managing productively from home. 60. Work on a schedule that fits your life. 61. Occasionally change your work location. 62. Schedule breaks and walks. 63. Align your day with weather and family rhythms. 64. Stop working at a set time. 65. Reach out if you feel isolated. 66. Use music to boost energy. 67. Limit social media distractions. 68. Set boundaries at home to avoid interruptions. 69. Dress properly to maintain a professional mindset. 70. Manage kitchen visits. Don't over-snack. 71. Invest in quality furniture and tech gear. 72. Upgrade your internet plan. 73. Don't let the lack of commute justify overwork. 74. Enjoy the flexibility you have earned. 60. Take aim before you fire an employee. Before terminating someone, assess potential fallout and plan accordingly. If the person is well-liked or tenured, have backup staff ready, or it could cause mass exits or workflow breakdowns. Communicate promptly with remaining employees to ease their worries and maintain morale. 61. Supervisors should do unannounced visits. Don't rely solely on scheduled dog and pony show tours where everything is staged. Drop in unannounced to see the real picture. This approach, sometimes called management by wandering around, helps you discover truths hidden by formalities. 62. Give the screw-up a break. When someone keeps making mistakes, your first instinct might be to fire them. But maybe they just need mentoring. If they respond positively to coaching, you could develop a loyal, high-performing employee. Show patience and see if they improve with guidance. 63. Everyone is battling something. Mental health challenges are real and can show up in surprising ways. Instead of immediately firing someone who behaves erratically, find out if they're in crisis. Show empathy and offer help when possible. It may turn a troubled employee into a loyal and productive one. 64. Why and how to quickly get rid of the toxic employee. Toxicity spreads if not addressed. A negative high performer is still dangerous for team morale. Steps. 1. Learn what happened so you can improve your culture. 2. Prepare a replacement plan. 3. Follow termination protocols swiftly. Don't prolong the pain. When toxicity festers, everyone suffers. 65. Don't measure performance around contests. Sales contests or other gamified performance metrics can be short-term motivators, but they can also distort priorities. People might cheat or neglect bigger responsibilities just to win. Recognize the downside. Aim for sustainable performance measures. 66. Ask employees for your payroll dollars back. When you see employees wasting time, let them know how it translates to actual money. For instance, if someone makes $20 an hour and squanders 15 minutes chatting, you might say, "Do you want to give me back the $5 you just wasted?" It's a dramatic wake-up call, though usually meant somewhat tongue-in-cheek. 67. Handling employees who don't follow directions. If someone repeatedly ignores instructions, ask them directly why. Maybe they forgot, an organization issue, or they just choose not to comply. If it's a matter of choice, tell them that's unacceptable. Put the decision in their hands. Follow instructions or find somewhere else to work. Section 10. Social media and networking. 68. Be careful with your social media posts. 69. Keep your LinkedIn profile updated. 70. Build your LinkedIn connections. 68. Be careful with your social media posts. As a leader or professional, be cautious when posting or engaging on social media. Once you publicly share a personal view, half your audience might disagree, especially on volatile topics. Also, arguments or questionable content can haunt you later. If you believe strongly in something, proceed with caution. You can't fully erase the internet. 69. Keep your LinkedIn profile updated. Don't overlook your own profile. Prospective clients, partners, and recruiters often check LinkedIn. Keep your information current, including accomplishments and roles. Make sure your photo is professional and your summary accurately reflects your expertise and interests. 70. Build your LinkedIn connections. If you've been working for a decade but only show 120 connections, it looks weak. Seek out past colleagues, classmates, and industry professionals. Join relevant groups and engage genuinely. A well-built network can open doors to new jobs, partnerships, and market insights. Section 11. Work-life balance. 71. Keep your personal and professional buckets separate. 72. Do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? 73. Take back those wasteful social media minutes. 74. Achieve the right balance between money, jobs, and hobbies. 75. Lock up your phone and engage. 71. Keep your personal and professional buckets separate. When personal issues spill into your work life, you risk damaging both. If life at home is chaotic, do your best to protect work from that overflow. Likewise, when work is stressful, don't bring that negativity home. Each bucket needs its own space. 72. Do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? It's not enough to have a good idea. You need financial cushion, at least a year's worth of personal expenses. Total buy-in from your family or partner, strong stress management skills, willingness to sacrifice free time, leadership instincts, creativity, competitiveness, independence from external validation, good health, freedom from harmful vices. If you check these boxes, you might be ready. 73, take back those wasteful social media minutes. Social media can devour hours in small increments. Track how long you spend and see if it's worth it. If not, reclaim that time for family, learning, or passions. Don't let mindless scrolling replace meaningful activities. 74, achieve the right balance between money, jobs, and hobbies. Ask yourself, are you happy? Is your income worth the toll on your life? Do you truly enjoy your job? Are you doing hobbies you love or just going through the motions? If you dread your work and never have time for the things that matter, consider a major shift. Don't wake up one day wishing you'd lived differently. 75, lock up your phone and engage. When you're with family or friends, put the phone away. Fully connect with the people you're with. If you can't go a couple of hours without checking your phone, you're missing real life in favor of a screen. Section 12, Life Lessons. 76, are you chasing experiences or material things? 77, Regrets and Learnings. 78, some people get lucky, others don't. Which one are you? 79, the most common reason startups fail. 80, working for a startup isn't riskier than a Fortune 500. 81, I broke down in a small town. 82, after waking up, it's all gravy. 76, are you chasing experiences or material things? Things can't buy happiness. If your dream is to see the world, then chase that instead of bigger houses or more stuff. Experiences often enrich your life far more than possessions ever will. 77, Regrets and Learnings. My top regrets and what they taught me. Not networking sooner. I was cocky and thought hard work alone would carry me. Poor work-life balance early on. I missed out on time with family and hobbies. Staying too long at certain jobs instead of pushing myself to grow. Not being curious enough when I first reached senior leadership levels. Waiting to start my own business. If you have a dream, plan and do it sooner. 78, some people get lucky, others don't. Which one are you? Sometimes life hands you a bad break. Other times you catch a lucky break. Recognize that not everyone gets the same chances. Have compassion. If someone made mistakes or had misfortune, think how easily it could have happened to you. 79. The most common reason startups fail. It's rarely just lack of cash or bad timing. Usually it comes down to the people. Issues like ego, stubbornness, or poor teamwork sink a new company. Evaluate yourself and your team first. 80. Working for a startup isn't riskier than a fortune. 500. Large corporations aren't necessarily stable. Plenty of people laid off recently came from big businesses, not startups. At a smaller company, you have more influence, and often you can shape your own job security by bringing real value. 81. I broke down in a small town. My trailer broke down in rural New Mexico. A game warden helped fix it. The local mechanic stopped what he was doing on a Saturday, and a diner owner chatted warmly while I waited. It reminded me that kindness is common when people forget the noise of social media. Most folks are inherently good. 82. After waking up, it's all gravy. If you woke up today, everything else is a bonus. We often forget to appreciate the basics. Being alive, healthy, fed, and sheltered. A positive attitude and gratitude create opportunities. Treasure what you have and see everything else as gravy. Acknowledgements. First, my deepest gratitude goes to my Riderflex co-founder and good friend, Scott Kagereis. Riderflex exists and thrives largely because of his dedication, loyalty, and commitment to the brand and to our friendship. I trust him with my life and enjoy living each day more because of him. I've been lucky to have special friends, mentors, advisors, and team members who have influenced my life and career. Scott Brogan, Marcy Cartmill, Brianna Derrera, Charles Feldman, Ray Gallo, Taylor Kirkpatrick, Cliff Levin, Chad Madlam, Tony Maslish, Patty Money, Mark Newhall, J.P. O'Brien, Mike Pantlick, Tom Regan, Dave Sayer, Joe Stone, Mary Ellen Vernon, Tom Vernon, Brett Verbeek, and Jeff White. My sincere thanks to the contributing authors who helped bring this book together: Scott Kagerice, Kim Urban, Sabrina Walker, Felicia Fan, Brianna Derrera, and Sue Publicover. About the author. I don't want the remainder of my life dictated by things. I want it defined by the experiences I'm chasing. Steve Urban worked his way from the retail sales floor to becoming president or COO of multiple companies with over $40 million in revenue. His passion for recruiting and nurturing talent led him to co-found Riderflex, an executive search firm, with longtime friend and colleague Scott Kagerice. Steve also hosts the Riderflex podcast, a daily show offering insights on careers, job seeking, entrepreneurship, leadership, and life. Born in Oklahoma, Steve lives in Colorado with his wife Kim and their dog Ryder. He balances his Riderflex life with camping, hiking, and immersing himself in the outdoors.